Hello, I'm Greg Solomon. If I could, I would like to elaborate a little bit on a video clip that I posted last week concerning copyright law in the YouTube community. In that video clip, I made mention of a certain individual who remained nameless in the video clip. I never at one time named him. But I made mention of a certain individual who was around 50 years of age and is living at home with his mother. And this individual has been living home with his mother for close to 6 years now. Well, after I posted that video clip, I received a few video responses. However, one of their video responses was from an individual who thought he recognized himself in my video clip. In fact, he thought he recognized himself so strongly that he felt it incumbent upon himself to post a 10-minute response video clip. This individual's name is ZenArcher or something like that. ZenArcher. Oh, Mr. Archer, as I said, felt that he recognized himself in my video clip to the extent that he felt it necessary to post a 10-minute video response. Well, I believe a little commentary is in order in light of his video response. First of all, let me say that I never once mentioned anyone's name in my video clip. However, this 10-minute response brings to mind an old saying I once heard: "The bit dog barks." Now, let me comment a little bit on the response video clip itself. First of all, let me say I thought it was a very nice touch to have the mother propped up in a wheelchair and then photograph it. It was very convenient that she happened to be in her wheelchair at the time when he came out with a video camera, acting as if he didn't know if she was laying on the couch sleeping or what she was doing. Actually, what that is, that's the same sort of psychology that's used in these television commercials where they try to get you to send in money. They will show maybe a supposedly starving child with a rice bowl in front of him, and it's meant to generate a sympathetic response. And don't get me wrong, I realize there are a lot of starving people in the world. I'm just basically illustrating my point and using that as an illustration to describe what he did in his video clip. He did something knowing full well he was going to attempt to generate a sympathetic response. It's basic psychology. Now, I have no doubt that his mother had a stroke, okay? I don't doubt that at all. I have no doubt that she has a wheelchair. I saw it. However, I also saw her in the wheelchair and saw her moving, and it's pretty apparent that she doesn't have any neurological deficit severe enough to warrant someone being around her 24 hours a day. And indeed, this individual is not around her 24 hours a day. He's in his room for several hours at a time, watching video clips and making video clips. He's only been out here for about 3 months, and he's put out almost 100 video clips and has now watched close to 9,000 video clips. And by his own admission, he drives around and dumpster dives, to use his term. My response to that is, if someone has time to get out in their car and drive around town going through dumpsters, they have time to work at some sort of a job. What's interesting here, though, is that I see a discrepancy in his story. Allow me to point it out to you. He would have us believe that he came here, or came there, shall I say. He's in Ohio. He came to Ohio for the sole purpose and intent of living with his mother full time, because she had a stroke. However, if you watch one of his very early video clips, you will see that he states that he was living down in Florida with a girlfriend, and at some point decided to go up to Ohio and have an extended visit with his children. I think he has some grown children in Ohio, he said. So that's what he did. He left Florida and went up to Ohio for an extended visit with his children. This would kind of indicate to me that he didn't have a job in Florida either, but be that as it may, let me just continue with my commentary. So he goes up to Ohio to visit with his children, which is what he says in his video. And while he was in Ohio, apparently he received a phone call. And according to him, in that phone call, a request was made that he not return to his residence in Florida. That request came from his girlfriend. Apparently it was the girlfriend's residence, the girlfriend's house. This essentially left this individual, Mr. Archer, with no place to go, no home to go to, certainly nothing to go back to Florida to, nothing waiting for him there. And it just so happened that in the middle of this, his mother happened to suffer a stroke, which appears to me to be a somewhat mild stroke, certainly not a severe stroke. She has no trouble speaking, speaks very well. She has a good memory. As a matter of fact, she corrected him on how long that he had been there living with her. So her memory is pretty sharp. And as I said, I can tell by the way she uses her extremities that she's not suffering much in the way of neurological deficit. So it would be very indicative of a mild stroke. Let me just say I'm not a doctor. However, again, medicine is one of those subjects of which I'm quite knowledgeable. Anyway, so Mr. Archer finds himself in Ohio with no place to go to, no home, nothing waiting for him in Florida. He's between a rock and a hard spot, essentially, and his mother has this stroke, and so with nothing better to do, basically, and nowhere else to go, he decided to move in and help her out during the recovery period of the stroke. However, he has now been there for close to 6 years. Spends a lot of his time out on the internet watching video clips, a lot of his time apparently not involved in cleaning the house, judging from the condition of the house, what I saw in the video clip. I'm coming up on the 10-minute limit to this video. Let me stop it, and I'm going to start another one, and I'll post this in 2 parts.